Low-key confession, I didn't realize the camera wasn't running for like the first minute of this. So
That's crazy.
Against the wall, I could have fallen so deep in love. I know it's not on.
Yo, what's up? Welcome to another episode of the Disruption Podcast. It's episode 30, the big 3-0. What does that mean?
I don't know.
It just
Absolutely
means
nothing.
a celebration. I don't know.
But it's a good day.
It is.
It's Noor here.
It's Moeezy.
Got Chief Olasaji in the building.
You got Mr. Prince and that.
And we're joined by a very special guest, Olivia Escuyos.
Hello,
Yeah.
hello.
I said it right, yeah?
Yes, you did.
All right, that's good.
You're lucky. Imagine butchering it on air. Right
Nah, you're good.
Hey, so that intro song, that was you?
Yes, it was.
So you can sing, huh?
Maybe here and there. No.
Honestly, yeah, no,
Yeah, so basically, Olivia is a singer, Melbourne local,
Yes.
born and raised.
Yes, sir.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's epic.
fam.
It is.
That particular song just then, I've been bumping it, man, ever since. So Noah put me on.
Okay.
He's on that show.
He put all of us
He put
on.
He's
all
got
of-
the game.
Yeah,
Nah, he knows his
guy's
music.
he's got his ear to
All
the,
right. Go.
Fam, that song is that's fire.
I remember last week, was it last week?
Yeah, it was literally
So
a week
last
ago.
week, we were just chilling, and then he was pumping your music.
Yeah.
And then we just saw like, yo, who is this? And then he was like, it might be our next guest. And I was like, word.
But hey, tell us about
That's
yourself.
confidence.
Yeah, nah.
right?
He's
Let's
Mr.
hear
Confidence
about you.
word.
Oh my God, where do I start? I'm 22.
Yeah.
As you said, I'm born and raised here. But I've been doing this music game maybe since I was like 17. So I've been going back and forth to America often. I've
Okay.
been living there for like 3 months at a time, going to Atlanta. Atlanta is where I usually go, but then I usually go to like LA as well. And I have been working on my projects as well as like everyone else, because I do like vocal production. I write for other artists as well. But you know, at the moment I've just come back to Melbourne and I've tried to, you know, do a lot of artist development stuff as well, because of my knowledge that I've had since I was 17. You know, you growing up in the industry, you see a lot of things, you know, and a lot of pros, a lot of cons, but you just need to be smart about what you need to do. And, you know, Melbourne has a lot of potential. I just feel like they need guidance, you know, so I felt like with the knowledge that I have, since I'm that kind of person to, you know, teach, like want to teach, love to teach, and just share my knowledge with other people. I feel like obviously that's how we continue to evolve as people. I felt like it was like necessary for me to just reach out to different artists and whatnot, and to just share what I know, and hopefully in some shape or form will help them in their own path, I guess. So, you know, I've been doing a lot of things. I've been dabbling in a lot of things, but, you know, everything that I've been doing, which is, you know, the vocal production, the writing, the, you know, the teaching even, and the artist development, it's all part of who I am, and, you know, will help me to continue to grow myself as well, you know? So, yeah.
See, how did that connection happen between you in Melbourne and stateside, and then you going, you know what? Because I can see how Atlanta's the place to be.
Yeah.
Especially now, like since the last 4 years.
Yeah,
in music, and then obviously LA as well. So how did that connection happen?
So I started off doing YouTube like everyone else. When I was 14, I started, and I knew when I was in high school, I said to myself, you know, I don't care how it's gonna happen, but I'm gonna let someone see me in the music industry. I don't care how it happens. I don't care if I have to save money and then fly it myself or do whatever. But thankfully, you know, at that time in high school, my YouTube was like really blowing up, you know, and I was like getting some sort of somewhere, you know. And my manager now found me through YouTube. So he scouted me through there, and it was totally by chance, you know, because I had other people, you know, wanting to sign me or all that kind of stuff when I was 16, 17. That's when it started to really like happen, and labels and all that kind of stuff. But my manager, I feel like we definitely just took a chance, because I didn't know him, and all we ever did was like Skype, and he spoke to my mom and was like, you know, I know she's still underage, but I would really like to get her here and stuff. So we met up in LA. We made that happen.
What, 16 is this?
Yeah, 16, 17. I like, you know what? As soon as I graduated high school, because I graduated early, like 17, I was like, bye. Like literally, bye. I was definitely that person that was just like, I do not care about school. Like I knew what I wanted to do. I was very prominent in that. My parents knew that, even though it was like a fight. Like that whole time that I wanted to go to LA after I graduated, oh my God, I cannot tell you how many times my mom
They wanted you
would,
to be a
like,
nurse.
Oh, of course. I'm Filipino, Chinese, and Spanish.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
snap. No
I was
way.
getting from every corner of my family, you know, but you know, they see how passionate I was. I was not going to give up. Like, I'm a Taurus, born April. And so I'm stubborn, okay? And if I have something that I want to do, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to fulfill it no matter what, you know? And I stick to my guns. That's what I do. That's what I've been doing. And it's gotten me to so many more places that I could ever imagine, you know? So through that whole transition and that time, I was like, look, I'm going to go. I'm going to do it. I don't care if you say that it's too dangerous or whatever it may be, but I knew I wanted to go. So I met him, we met up, definitely had that connection, and we met in LA first.
Yep.
That was when we were meeting up with a whole bunch of LA, like labels, representatives and all that kind of stuff. I think my first label was with Sony Epic, with LA Reid, Vincent Herbert and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, they were huge. They're still a huge part of the music industry today, you know, like signing people like Lady Gaga you know, creating LaFace Records, you know, which literally has everyone that you want to work with. So that was really good. I think for me at that time, though, being 17, I wasn't mentally prepared for everything that was going on at that moment. I was kind of like just floating around. Like my head was like, wow, like what is this?
Just enjoying the moment.
I
kind of
was
thing.
very like starry-eyed. I was like, oh my God, I'm in a label. What am I doing here? You know, like it was all that kind of stuff. But I knew it. I wasn't fronting. It wasn't something that I was like, oh no, I'm prepared for this. Like, no, I knew I wasn't prepared, but I wanted them to see me. It was all about, you know, the plan, the game of, I'm on their radar now, you know? So from then on, I was going back and forth to Atlanta because my manager was originally from there and obviously still is. But I was getting, you know, I was going to different, what's it called? Just lost it. The like record labels there as well, and like working with other people there. That's when I started to work with a whole lot of different people. And honestly, we were doing it from the strength. Like we weren't doing it because I was signed. I wasn't signed yet. I never signed to anybody, and I still haven't. You know, I've tried to stay independent, and we've had long talks about it because back then we just went into streaming. Everyone just started going into streaming back then, you know? So I saw how the record labels were changing and that they were going, you know, down.
Right.
And that they were investing back into streaming as well. So I saw all of that happen. Like I was literally a fly on the wall and was like, wow, okay, let me just keep, you know, watching everything happen. And we were just working, continuing to develop what I had and my sound and who I was. And all that kind of stuff. But, you know, it's a long journey. It's still, you know, I'm still considered like new, like artist now because I am pushing out what I want to push out.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've been in this for a very long time.
I feel like that, at that age of like 16, 17 till now, you have that whole thing of you're finding yourself first of all, and then now you're finding your way in the industry. So with all that craziness and stuff like that, how did you know, like, this is definitely, like, what made you in the beginning feel like this is something, you know, you want to keep pushing through even to this point now?
Yeah, I feel like because of who I am and where I started off with singing, you know, I grew up singing in church. Like, I was born and raised Catholic, you know. So I started off there, you know, even with Joy. She was a part of the choir.
Shout out to Joy.
Shout out to her. You know, so we've been together for a long time. But like, you know, I started off wanting to just do YouTube and have people listen to the songs that I loved listening to. That's why I started, and because I love singing, you know, and I saw it as something that I could honestly do. Like my mind was very, very set on the fact that, I can become an artist, not just a singer, but an artist, because they're both two very different things, and I was ready to go through the ups and downs. Like, there's a point in your life where, if you want to have a crack at an industry as big as this, or any industry, you have to really have a talk to yourself and just be like, am I willing to go through the downs and everything with it that comes with it in order to, become successful or be happy at where you are, and I was ready. Like, I was honestly ready to face whatever I needed to face at a very young age. Like, I knew it, because I just knew it was just a part of like who I was, and still am. So it was just that feeling. I'm very intuitive as well. So, everything that I've been through has gotten me to a stage where I've just have been like, yes, I still want to do this. Right. Yes, I'm still going to keep going, even though I went through like so much stuff. I was gonna cuss, but so much stuff. Yeah.
So what type of music are you into? Like, what type of music do you listen to first of all?
I listen to a variety of music. It always changes depending on what I'm feeling or like what era I'm in at that point in time. But I feel like the recurring people or people that have really inspired me, not only as like an artist but as a person, I would say the very first person would be Sade. Sade, like, I'm all into my classics as well. I listen to a lot of classics. But Sade is definitely a person that I very much like listen to all the time, inspired by, because of the way that she holds herself.
Elegance.
Oh my god, poise. I want to be like her, in every sense that I can't, because I'm really not. Like, I'm really unrefined. And but that's okay. We're trying. We're getting there.
You're only 22.
I know. Yeah. Oh god. Yeah. I'm only 22. But yeah. So I also listen to people like Jeff Buckley or James Blake, and it's weird because people are like, do you listen to a lot of like heavy like R&B or soul and stuff like that? I do, but it comes in and out. Right. So that was amazing.
Which of you?
This one. Carry on, sorry.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's yours.
Just go do it.
That's all right.
All right, yeah, keep going. You go.
No, so people often ask me if I always listen to R&B like all the time, but truth is like, no, I don't. Like, I always try to be versatile, because I feel like sound, when you're an artist playing with new sounds sonically and lyricism and all that kind of stuff is very important, and you always want to try and be outside of the box, and think left of center, But honestly,
is that a musical term or just in general?
Oh yeah, like it is a musical term. Yeah. Maybe, I think. Well, most singers, most people do that, say that, but I feel like looking at artists or looking at songs, it's a blueprint, especially if you want to be an artist. Everything's there. Like, a lot of people search for answers, but they're right in front of you if you know how to look. You know what I'm saying? So I tend to always search for music outside of R&B and soul and see what components sonically and lyricism wise I can bring to that.
I guess that's what you're kind of like saying, where it's like that separates the singer and the artist, because like do you guys see Kendrick Lamar's album? Apparently that's finished today.
Oh, right?
Really? Like someone tweeted that, and it's apparently super rock inspired.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's dope.
And it's like Wayne had done a rock album like in 2009, and like that's the whole artist versus singer or
it's actually like
element.
You have to learn how to now create something out of literally. It's actually nothing. It's an idea to start off with. So what is your creative process? I mean, you say you draw from what's already being done.
Yeah.
What else do you do? Like I know I've tried to like rap. This is different. Yeah, like just for jokes. Yeah, and I'm not a rapper. But like I realize it's hard to just word some of these things, to just write something out. Like, where do you start from? How do you do this?
So for me, I start off with probably the beat first, definitely. Whether it's me, playing piano, playing guitar, making the beat myself, or having beats sent to me, it always comes down to that first for me, I
Right.
think, because I like to find the vibe first.
Right.
I feel like it's
Right.
very, very important. Like if I don't like the beat, then why am I singing on it? You know,
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
no, for
and like
real, for
most
real.
people do that. Like, you know, I know that, you know, name dropping is like cool and clout, whatever, cool. I'm not about that. Like it's really, I don't really care. Like I find potential in everybody, you know,
Right.
and that doesn't limit me off from working with people that are established or not established, you know, and that's why I wanted to come back here in the first place and work with people, because I was like, you know, there's a lot of untapped potential, and I know that I can help them like bring it out, you know. So I start off with the beat first, and then you know, I come up with ideas, or I play with the different emotions that it, you know, makes me feel, and I kind of like curate that into, you know, its own little segment, I guess, or compartment. And then I try and find different songs or things that just pop in my mind, and I just listen, you know, and get inspired and see, okay, can I make something of this? Can I do, you know, can I sing about what it's making me feel or what not? So research is very, very important. I met this guy, his name's Sean Garrett. I don't know if you guys know him, but
the pen.
yeah, the pen. So
There's everyone.
so, you know, he, before he would start writing, he would always research. He would always go on his laptop and he would, you know, look at lyrics of different songs that would inspire him for that specific track or whatever. And he will just go through it until he has some sort of indication, like, okay, this is where I want to take it. And that's really helped me as well as like lyricism and stuff like
Isn't
that.
that hard? Because like, you know, when you're inspired by something and then
Yep.
suddenly you don't realize you're actually biting it,
Right, of
and you're like
course.
taking lyrics from
Yeah.
other things. and-
I feel like it's really important that when you're first like writing, when you're starting out writing and all that kind of stuff, you have to take time to do trial and error, you know? So the first thing that I would do is, I would honestly, the first process that I did, because honestly, back when I was like 16, 17, I didn't want to write at all.
Right.
I was a person that was like, ew, writing? Really? Like, nah. Because all I ever saw from writing here was like, oh, I'm going to school and I'm going to brush my hair. Like, it was just fake stuff. And I never had that confidence. Literally. You know?
Bro, that's literally what Friday was.
Yeah. Friday's what I'm thinking of right now.
Literally. You know, so I was, I don't know. I just didn't have the confidence in myself then to be like, oh, you know, you have potential to write songs. You know, I was always like, nah, I can't write songs. I'm going to let other people, I'm going to collaborate. I'm just going to let other people write my songs, you know? So when I finally got out of that, and it took a lot, you know, oh my God, me and my manager, like shout out to him, because he dealt with a lot of my emotions.
Right.
Artists are very sensitive people, you know, and back then I was, you know, I've toned down now, but back then, Lord Jesus, Lord Jesus, you know, he put me in solitary confinement, okay, like, and for good reason, because I was a mess. I was like, no, I'm not gonna write. I'm not good enough. I'm not this. I'm not that, you know. But once you go past that mentality, like that block, oh my God, I was like, okay, cool, I can actually do this shit, you know. And so many people go through that, and that's another thing that I want to try and just break, is that mentality of going, no, I can't do this shit, you know, because it's a lot more than just going, oh yeah, you can do it, like this is great, yeah, it will be fun. Like no, like it's a literal war between
100%.
yourself going, am I going to make a fool of myself, or can I actually go all the way, commit, be 100% and be like, I'm really going to do this.
Yeah, I guess what's the feeling for you when it's the two things? One, how vulnerable, obviously you want to be very vulnerable as an artist, but it's kind of awkward because like, one, people you know you, right? And then two, people that don't know you are going to know more about you. But then also the other thing is, how sensitive are you about your art when it's like, someone goes, hey, I actually don't like that line. But you're like, no, but this. And they're like, but it doesn't work. And you know they're right, but you like what you wrote.
Yeah, I feel like it's got to do with knowing yourself. Yeah, right. I feel like being an artist, you have to come in knowing yourself already. And I feel like it's a huge process that people forget about all the time. Like they just care about, oh, let's go to the studio, let's like write, let's do this. But it's like even lyricism comes from who you are. You know, what do you stand for? What are you going to write for? How are you going to write that? What's your style? You know, and that comes from the person. If you don't know who you are, you're not going to know how you're going to write. You're not going to know what beats you like. You're just going to end up copying other people, you know? So I feel like, yeah, I can be as vulnerable as I want to be. And, you know, that's probably why I don't really have anyone writing for me right now, because I don't care what anybody else says, you know, at the moment, you know? And I just feel like, you know, even if we did come to a disagreement on, I'm open as well though. I'm not a bitch. I know if like 500 people are telling me like, hey, Olivia, you probably should not do that.
500.
It must mean
It must mean something.
Someone's right.
Yeah, someone, yeah, you know. But I'm definitely the type to have a talk about it and be like, okay, can we come to an agreement? Right. Can we give a take in this situation? It's never. I'm not like ego driven when it comes to stuff like this. Like I know who I am, but I'm not ego driven. That's one thing that I know that I can always hold back from, because I just love like music too much. Right. Yeah, you know, and I always see where the other person comes from. And I try to understand them, you know, but that comes from the person who I am.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah.
I've always wondered, because I've got friends as well that, well, first of all, what would you call your genre of music?
I would say.
What would you say you fall under, or if you could say so?
I would say R&B, soul, but that's probably going to change in like a few years. I mean, I'm going to branch out. I'm not going to be.
Why
like,
box yourself?
What do you want to branch out to?
Oh, I'm definitely going to go through like the pop era, like the pop scene, into pop R&B and all that kind of stuff. You know, who knows? When I'm 40, I'll probably come out with like a country album.
Hey man, if Lil Nas did it,
that's where like. If I'm at that stage in my life, then yeah, I'm gonna do it.
We wait for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like I've got friends who write musicals in the R&B scene. And like it's kind of linking with what Noor just said. Sometimes I'll like listen to some of the music, like, oh snap, oh word, okay, who are you talking about here? Do you have to tap? Do you have to sometimes tap into like is this just past experiences or a lot of what you've seen from other people, or like where do you tap into?
It's a bit of both. Yeah. I definitely try to draw from past experiences, but I love to put a little chili sauce. A little bit of spice.
Some flavor.
Some flavor flav. I like to, you know, I love hearing other people's stories. You know, it is so vital that I have conversations with people all the time.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
It is so important because I try to put myself in their shoes and then I write from that point, you know, even from like different perspectives. I love to challenge that and try to see like, even if I didn't go through that experience, how would other people take that, or have people gone through the same thing and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's either or. It could honestly come from anything, you know, so which I love, which is good.
I can imagine someone coming to her is like, yeah, I got a story for you. She'll be like, hold on, let me get my notebook out. So
where my notes at? Yeah, exactly.
So with the music, so how do you know when you made it? Because for me, Chris Brown comes to me and say, rap for me, I'm gonna scream, I made it. you know what I'm saying? So for you, it's to what point do you know, like, yep, this is what I'll be working towards, and like I'm comfortable here. But of course, still continue working though.
Yeah, I have no idea, to be honest. I mean, like I obviously have a lot more things to improve on, a lot more things to do with myself. Like honestly, I'm only just starting to even like think about myself as an artist, you know, and grow into that and what artist actually means. Because for a long time, I've never really claimed the word artist. It was very awkward for me, because I didn't feel like I earned it yet, you know, and that, I don't know, it just comes from that drive, or, you know, from working hard and being like, no, you can do better, and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I feel like if I'm honestly happy with myself all round, then I feel like I've made it. You know, and honestly, like mentally, physically, spiritually, on all levels, I'm like 100% on myself. Then that I feel like that I've made it. Then,
that's really good. So I know you mentioned before that you really want to bring all your talents and everything that you've learned and help people in Melbourne. So what is it that you think people in Melbourne are missing, like the artists? Because I see it too. I feel like there's a lot of people that have so many potential, but they're stuck.
Yeah.
They're stuck at a certain level, and it's like they just need that one thing or that one person to come and like take them out and pretty much expose them to the world.
Yeah.
So what do you think it is that they're missing?
So nowadays for artists, it's very much like a double-edged sword for us. We have a lot of creative freedom, and we have a lot of freedom to do whatever we want to do, put out whatever we want to put out when we want. But I feel like people don't have the direction, or not saying like the logic, but they just haven't figured out their plan.
Yep.
And a lot of people skip on the plan, which is very important for anything, honestly. Like, you know what everyone would say if you plan to fail, and all that kind of stuff. But I definitely feel like people are so creative here. They're very, very creative that they miss out on that whole logistic, like the whole logic of, okay, are we going to do this year? When is this going to come out? And all that kind of stuff. And where is it going to come out? Which countries, the statistics and all, they don't really look for that, and having seen everything that everyone does in the industry, what A&Rs look for, what people in the industry look for, labels and independent labels and all that kind of stuff. It's very important that you have a clear goal of how you're going to do this, and not just, I'm going to create, because you can't have too much of one thing. It's still bad. And that's why people have teams. Because you have a manager to manage all of that, and then you might have someone doing your tour, or someone doing your, Instagram, your social media platforms and all that kind of stuff. So it's honestly like really, really important to think. And I feel like a lot of people miss that, and it's not their fault. It's just that we don't have enough guidance here. We don't have enough people talking about their process. Process is everything. Oh my Jesus, I cannot say it enough. Process is everything. Appreciating your process is a lot. It has got to do with yourself as an artist, and how you hold yourself. But I just feel like the conversation needs to be had, about where you need to take this. But that's it.
How
That's what I think.
do you have a question?
Yeah, so
You go.
I guess like for time, Australia's sort of, in terms of artists, like musicians, I feel like it's been seen as like lame, right? Like it's not cool globally, right? Kind of how the UK was for a long time, aside from the Beatles and Madonna and whatever, but it's only recently you got J Hus and Stormzy and whatever blew up across the globe.
Ed Sheeran even was late.
Yeah.
Do you feel like Australia's gonna come to that point where it's like, okay, finally it's respected globally? Because I've seen maybe 2 young guys get pulled over. I can never say his name. It's Ruel or Ruel. Yep.
Yeah.
And the Kid Laroi.
Kid Laroi, yeah.
Like those 2 got pulled stateside. But other than that, it's like, how do you break that kind of perspective that they don't really have anything to talk about down under?
Yeah.
They just laugh at us, man. Kind of sad.
Honestly, that's if Australia's willing to accept the potential that they have here. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they don't accept that we have a community of artists that are trying to break out with whatever genre that they try to have. Like it's a very pop, industry here. And I don't really care like that they have that. It's fine. And this is why we all go to America. This is why we all go to the UK. This is why we all try to hit different
Markets.
Markets, I have no idea. Like I don't even think about Australia like that. You know, like I honestly just think about the raw talent that they have and try to push them over somewhere else, because it's not, I have no idea. Like it's honestly up to the people that are in charge here that are willing to accept like, hey, we actually do have things
Something
other
to
than
say.
pop or things other than like folk or like, what other stuff that they be putting out, on the radio. So I don't know. It's just
That's true actually. Like now that you say that,
I never thought of it
we
like
don't
that.
consume our own stuff here.
No, we don't.
Not even that. It's like literally what you're saying. Like the platforms that are in existence to put people on don't believe that
radio's
Australia is
dead.
ready for radio's dead, but it's
Radio's
not
dead.
necessarily dead. Like it's
Yeah.
When's the
still.
last time you heard a new artist on the radio for the first time?
I know my
When's the last time,
my
when's the
Bluetooth's
last
not
time you listened to the radio?
my Bluetooth's not in my
Hey,
car.
hey,
So
so do we have talents like that here though?
no, that's what I was getting to. Like so we
No, we do. No, we do have talent.
see that. There's
No, we got talent, of course, but it's like, do we though? If that makes sense.
100%. Like it's what you just said. Actually, I never thought of it in this
Yeah.
way. That it's actually not even the consumers or the artists themselves that really might be the problem. It might actually just be the platforms don't actually think that this is the scene that can
Yeah.
push
That's
this kind of
facts.
stuff.
Yeah.
Which is I didn't even think about it in that way.
Of course. It's all about connections. It's all about networking and all that kind of stuff. But here it's very hard. It's like, I don't know. They look for that, specific criteria. It's that cookie cutter kind of, aspect of the music industry here. And that's why I don't entertain it. I don't really mind. I mean, I've had so many rejections from like here, with them just being like, yeah, that's cool. Or like, that's, you need a break in America first in order for them to accept you. Like that's what I've known from like the start, from wherever you are, once America approves, you're in.
That's so lame.
Yeah.
It is lame.
That's lame.
It is lame.
That's like chasing the trend.
It's constant acceptance
The crazy-
from
Yeah.
you're not your
It's like
country.
I won't like you unless they like you.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah.
The crazy thing is like that's not even just in the music industry. That's also like in the sporting industry.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Australia. That's
Definitely.
like it's
Any
everywhere.
industry.
Yeah,
Any
you
industry.
want to make it in soccer, you can't make it anywhere in here,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You gotta
yeah.
travel, you gotta play
Yeah.
in Europe, go over there,
Yeah.
whatever. Basketball, so many different sports. Only
Yeah.
like cricket or something, but like
I don't
who
know
trying to play cricket, fam?
I don't know.
No disrespect, but who trying to play cricket? You know what I mean?
I don't
But yeah, so now I'm just thinking, it's like, bro, do we have our own kind of thing down here, like our own community kind of thing? So I
We're
think that
trying. Honestly.
hopefully we'll get there sometime though.
Is it a community of independents though? It wouldn't be a like record label community, would it?
Nah, definitely not.
There,
sick to have that.
I mean,
Be nice.
obviously, it would be amazing to have, because then we'd have everyone, supporting each other and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I'm not saying that we don't support each other now, but it's like it's every man for himself.
Yeah.
Of course.
Is definitely what I've
Experienced.
yeah, and it's a very different playing field for that reason, because they all want to try and get overseas, but when you're in America, a lot of people want to try and help you, like I've had so many, I wouldn't be able to get in through any doors, if not from like just the strength of them going, hey, you know what, we believe in you, let's try and do this, Here I feel it's a lot more, what's the word, transactional.
Yeah. It's like you have to do something for me.
something.
Oh, of
for
course,
us,
yeah.
whether it's like favor for a favor or like, like literal money,
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm doing this so I can get money.
yeah, like you know what I'm saying. So and I feel like a lot more people need to realize that if you want to build something, you have to build it from the actual genuine place
Yeah.
For real.
inside yourself. That's how I've created, like teams down here and have people work with me and be like, hey, you might know me, you might not, but I see a lot of potential in you and I want to help you with this, and we can work together and we can make something happen. You have to be really genuine.
So America got that type of culture.
I definitely feel like I've felt it a lot more there than here. But it goes both ways. Like it depends on the person.
Yeah.
If they're trying to be like, yeah, I'm genuine, but then the next day they're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, but give me more money.
Yeah.
Then that's a whole different story. But yeah, honestly, I've built all my networks just from the strength of, having conversations with them and them really believing in what I could be,
That's good. That's
Yeah.
really good. I wanted to ask, in terms of like being a female in the industry, both here in Melbourne and America, are there any challenges that you
Of
faced
course.
or
Oh my God.
yeah?
I couldn't wait until someone asked me that. Lord Jesus. Of course, I'm all forms of minority. Like I've definitely come within myself. Like last year was a definite like learning curve. from who I am and what I represent. It started off really aggressive. Like, I'm really aggressive.
Yeah.
I'm such an aggressive person because I'm small. Like, I'm so small.
Little man
Gotta bring the
syndrome.
power, yeah.
Oh my God. I'm small, you know, I'm feisty
Yeah.
because I feel like I have to be, you know, like I'm a female. Like, this is a male dominant industry.
yeah.
I'm Filipino, Chinese, Spanish. So you can't even put me in a category. You can't say that I'm this and this. Like, no, I'm Asian, you know? So that was another thing. That was another issue that I felt like I had to face within myself, the identity that I had to bring as well. But, you know, as I've gone through all of that, you know, and seen what people can do with who you are, it's made me want it even more.
Yeah.
You know, it's made me go, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to prove your ass wrong.
Yeah.
Because yes, I am a woman. Yes, I'm Asian. Yes, I'm like 500 different, you know, nationalities, and I'm not from America, but watch me do it.
Let's go.
You know, because honestly, all of that should motivate you. But, you know, honestly, it hasn't been easy, obviously. You have a lot of people close doors just because you are this or this, you know. I've got, you know, doors closed because I was Filipino, and the last Filipino artist that they had didn't work out. So they were like, okay, nah, she's not going to work.
Isn't that weird?
It's weird. It is weird. Like,
You know
listen
why
to the
that-
music.
You know why that's really weird?
Uh,
You would never do that if it was a white artist didn't work
Yeah,
out.
of course.
and
I mean,
then
of course.
Your next artist is
I
white.
mean, that's a whole other different story.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know?
Like,
So,
oh God.
Yeah.
so where do you get your motivation from? Like, with the rejection, how do you still say, I'm going to continue this?
Man, I've been fighting my whole damn
Let's go.
life.
Let's
You know what
go.
I'm saying? Like, honestly, I feel like I've gone through a lot of things, especially when I was younger, like a lot of things. My mom was particularly really like tough love on me. So I feel like I've grown accustomed to the whole like, oh, you know, you're this, you're that, negative. But I'm like, you know, I'm just gonna, you know, transform that into positive and be like, yeah, I'm gonna use that to fuel me. I don't really care what you say, especially like YouTube as well. Growing up doing YouTube when I was younger, that definitely learnt tough skin, you know, because
Comments and stuff. Yeah.
oh my God, yeah.
okay, so I was gonna ask you that. What level of, I don't know, did you have to get to go, okay, fine, I'm gonna finally post this? Or
Like, how much do you psych yourself up? Or?
Yeah, 'cause you know how you have to, like, to a certain extent, especially
yeah.
if you're doing this alone.
solo,
right? Like,
yeah.
for us,
Of course.
I didn't really think about that because
Yeah.
the four of us, I was like, we're all
There's
gonna get
four people.
we
It's
can
like,
all get clowned on,
Okay.
We can all take the
right?
heat. You know?
Everyone. But like when it's just you and
Yeah.
your, how old were you when you first posted videos? Like,
Oh, like 14.
Oh,
all right, 14.
Yeah.
Very young.
Like, you're thinking about, oh, what are they gonna comment? What are they gonna say at school? What are they gonna?
Yeah. I honestly didn't give a shit.
Fair enough.
Let's
Good.
get it.
Fair enough.
I didn't care. Like I knew that there was
Yeah, she did a bomb for that. I was waiting for that too.
I knew that like what I was doing, I wanted to do for such a long time. Like I wanted my stuff to be heard because it was just from such a genuine place. And I know that when it comes from a genuine place, often when you get hit, you get hit. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you're like, oh, like, you know, but I don't know. I wasn't that type of person. I think luckily I was surrounded by a lot of amazing people in my life,
Word.
like my family, the friends that I had. Like everyone in school thought I was like the shit.
Yeah.
So I didn't really care.
That's cool.
You know, like my whole high school life was about me like singing and playing in the school band and getting like, you know, liked by my principal because of that, you know.
Yeah.
Wow.
So my high school
I
life was
hated everyone that sang during high school assemblies.
Not
you
gonna
didn't come
lie.
to my school,
Yeah,
man.
maybe I should have gone to your school, man.
You do have that feeling
Bro,
sometimes.
every time
too.
someone would start singing assembly, I'm like, bro, you suck. Just you're pretty. Just get off now. Like, move.
Damn, no.
Oh my God.
This guy throwing shots
I
in
have
it.
a couple different questions.
That's so funny.
Oh, there's too many questions in my head right now. One, how do you, or what's your experience been with anyone kind of like changing around you in terms of like, obviously you're saying now that you've had people who've like, you know, believed in you from the beginning, even in school, everyone knew you as the singer, the
Yeah.
good singer as well, right? So
hopefully.
like, yeah, hopefully. So like up, like now as well, do you experience any kind of change in terms of how people relate with you, or even artists, friends that you know who are artists or weren't exactly friends? Yeah, is there any kind of change in that regard?
What do you mean by change?
In the dynamic of relationship is a lot more now. Oh yeah, definitely support now.
Whereas back then where it wasn't as much, or even artists where it's like before you might like, okay, let's collab, and like, and then now they're coming after you like, hey, what you saying about that collab though?
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, of course. I mean, I've had a lot of I've had a lot of changes, different dynamics between people. I mean, like, I don't talk to anyone from my high school days anymore, so like, but that was my choice.
Same.
Sorry. Like literally nobody. I was just, I mean, I came from like the north, like that school wasn't the best, you know. And anyone that's watching from my high school, they know. They would know, honestly. I think it was like rated like one of the worst 3 schools like in the north.
Goodness gracious.
So when I say I'm from like the hood on that side, like I really was from the hood. Yeah, but no, I definitely feel like because I've gone through it, there have been times where people are like, oh yeah, cool, like, you know, they're claiming me or she's been to my school, like, oh,
That's weird.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
means
like-
nothing.
But isn't that
and I'm
kind
like,
of
you didn't even
dope?
like me back then.
It's kind of nice when the city starts showing love.
No, but if they didn't show love, I don't know,
It's weird if
bro.
they're like, we were best friends. Like,
Yeah, but it's like you could have gone to the same school, but you never spoke.
Yeah.
Like,
No, but the
Don't
thing is,
claim me.
no.
Yeah,
To be honest,
yeah,
people actually love doing that. I remember, like in school, one of the teachers would always be like, "Oh yeah, this rugby player used to come to the school."
Yeah.
He never, bro. You never told the guy.
you didn't even work here when he was
you
here.
don't even know the guy personally.
God.
So it's almost like, bro, you capping. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, of course, I definitely feel like I felt that the most when I started working with a lot of different producers and songwriters when I first started going back and forth. It was very like, oh my God, she's in America now. Like, oh, what is she doing? Oh my God, that's amazing. Da 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 da. And then, I mean, honestly, it came early because I was on YouTube and that blew off.
Yeah.
Like,
When you say blew off, what's like?
blew
Yeah,
off.
because I haven't actually sussed this.
Yeah.
I didn't
Like
know.
million views.
Yeah.
Oh,
Word.
Yeah. So like I think I remember I reached like my first million. I think it was like
First million.
yeah, when I was when I was I think like I think it was year 11, year 12 and everyone's like, "Oh my God, I did like earned it by the weekend or something." But then my video got taken down for like copyright. So don't even worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. We're working on it. But yeah, like I don't know, like I felt the whole shift from like, oh my God, you're Olivia from YouTube. Oh my God, this, that, da, da, da. Oh my God, she's from my area. And then it grows. Oh, she's from Melbourne now. And like, da, 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 da. You know, when I started going back and forth to America, and I'm just like, this is very crazy because y'all didn't like me before, you know. And honestly, I still get that shit. I still get people not liking me. I still get people differentiating me between them, even though we're doing the same thing, you know, like artistry wise, music wise and stuff. And, you know, I've never really felt like complete here. I've never really felt like whole. I've never really felt like, oh, Melbourne really backs me up like that, you know. Like I never really felt that here, like as of like before, you know. Now it's kind of like, yeah, like people are sussing me out, but honestly I kind of made that happen as well. Like I was sort of the problem as well because I was like really cut off from people here. Just because I didn't know anybody. Like I didn't make past connections, like because as soon as I came to America I had just graduated, so I didn't
So
really
it's like you
know.
started your journey in America almost.
So I didn't know.
great,
So people thought that every time I came back here, I was just like some bitch that didn't
Right.
want to go out and like, you know, see other people. But that wasn't it. I'm just a really shy person. Like I just, whenever I meet new people or, you know, I'm in front of like different people that I know, that I happen to know, I just get so weird. I'm just like, hi, I don't know if you know me, but yeah. So, you know, I've been, when I came back down, I tried to just, you know, get all of that back up, you know, all of the, you know, making connections and trying to build a team down here. And honestly, it's the best thing that I've ever done because now I'm able to bring my team that I've like worked with and helped up the ground, you know, like, I don't know if you guys know Rinny, but he was, he was definitely the first person that I've, you know, worked with that I've seen take off, you know, and I vocal produced his last EP. So it was a very amazing time for me, especially because I wanted to make those connections again with different people. And that helped me to do so, like just working with other people or people like RL King. I don't know if you guys know him as well.
We're going to ask you about, okay, we've got a question now. We went to
Okay.
high school with the guy, but we need to ask, no, I'm not claiming, I don't want to be that. Sound like
this
that.
guy, bro.
No, because I want
You never spoke to him. You don't know who he is, bro.
we have a leading question from that, but carry on though about this.
So like with working with him on his project, because I also vocal produced him as well, like it's just been a really, really good time, you know, for me to make my way and to subtly come in and just be like, hey, because I know a lot of people know me, they just don't know me. You know, because I'm like a float, I'm like a ghost kind of. I'm kind of just like here, but I'm not, and I'm very low key. I'm very private. I like my privacy. So that's why I'm hardly ever out, and I'm a grandma, but that's okay.
Oh, word? Okay.
I'm such a grandma.
Oh, okay,
my
like
God.
actually?
Like, and then,
Wait.
Grandma's like she doesn't do anything. She don't go
I
out.
don't go out.
What's wrong with this dude? man?
Hey, me and your
First he comes in dressed as 7-Eleven.
me and your mic can go away. Come back in 30 minutes anyways.
She said grandma, and I thought auntie, and I don't know why that was crazy too. I don't know. I'm tripping.
I was like, she don't go out, bro.
Oh my God.
Did you shut up, guys? Did you first
Me and your mic, man.
shut up?
Nah, carry on.
Would you say you experienced any kind of like big growth or success from the first trip to America, or was it a lot of the back and forth? Like, did it? Because I know like a lot of, let's say, like basketballers that we know, they go to America or something, come back, nothing's really happened, or other artists and stuff. When you had that first trip and then you've come back, was there enough of a foundation to be like, yeah, this is worth it to continue going? Or it's like,
definitely.
So,
The first person that I ever worked with when I was in LA was Motor Beats. So I don't know if
Word.
So me and him, me and him.
I was shook when I saw how he looked. Like the first time.
Yeah, it's like a
I
little
was like,
white
I
dude.
thought this was a black guy with a fade.
Everyone says that. Oh my God. So it was his first time in LA as well.
Okay.
That was the first ever time. We both met up. It was definitely like so random. We had met at this dude's, his name's Tyler. We met at his crib because he had like a full recording studio and stuff. And you know, and just see this guy walk in and he's like, yeah, I'm Motor Beats, hi. And I'm like, oh, hi, cool. Like, this is great, you know. And I'm honestly, to this day, because he came down here not too long ago.
Yeah.
And I met up with him again. And he was like, still to this day, he's like, you know, you're the first Australian that I've ever met in my life.
Oh, wow.
Like, you were the first. Like, why would I even go to Australia? Why would I know any Australians? Like, you were the first person. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I don't even know what to say about
did you
that.
rep the set properly? Like, did you hold it down for Australia?
Yes, I did.
Put us on the map.
Yes, I did.
That's what I'm talking about. I don't want him to go nowhere and be like, damn, it smells like weed.
No, I don't know, man. Like Americans love Australians. Like,
Yeah, they really do. I don't know
they're so
why.
like, oh my God, so exotic. Like, and I'm just like, how?
Yeah.
Good day, mate. Like, is that exotic? I don't know.
Exotic.
Oh, man.
The levels, bro, makes no sense, bro.
Oh, man.
Yeah, exactly. So, he was the first person, and you know, no one really knew him back then as well. Like he was working on the Migos project first.
That's sick.
So yeah, I mean, I guess people did know him, but not here. People didn't really know him here. And I started working with other people as well. But I feel like, yeah, for me, that was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely, this is, I'm doing this. I'm going back again and again. And mind you, I went by myself. So I was 17. I went by myself. You know, and like I had all my flights got canceled, rearranged. So I had to check in and out on every single stop I had. I think I like had jet lag for 2 weeks. So I like literally slept straight for 2 weeks the first time I went. It was really bad. But yeah, it was all worth it, honestly. And even like, I think the first few times that I went, it was definitely a struggle of who I was and developing that. But, you know, I knew for myself that I didn't want to compromise anything. I didn't want to just do you know, this X and X and X just because, you know, or just go with this person just because he has a name. Like, I still stuck to it because, like, again, like, I just want to be very genuine about things because I've seen a lot of things. I've seen a lot of people, you know, get signed for 1.2 million and then get dropped, you know, because it's not about how good of a singer you are. It's like, what are you going to give the people? Like, who are you and how is this going to help someone, you know?
Yeah.
And then that relates back to your creativity, you know? So for me, that was the one. But I will tell you, when I was like 19, I kind of like stopped going to America. And like I had a break for a while because I had just released a EP and I had a lot of different collaborations with that EP, a lot of people writing on it. You know, I think I had like 4 or 5 people writing on one song at one point. But to me, it didn't feel right.
Yeah.
Like, to me, I was just like, okay.
It's not yours.
Yeah, I couldn't claim it.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I just need to just go back to my roots, you know. And I remember writing this down on my flight back, you know, and I was like, I need to go back to my roots and I need to start again, you know, because I was like, look, I don't, like legit, you know, and because I was like, you know, I can't keep doing this. This is not satisfying. I'm giving you guys 50% and everyone in my team was giving me 100, you know, and I didn't feel worthy enough to be in this position to keep going like this. I was like, I need to break. I need to do something totally like, you know, spontaneous, and I need to just like stop, you know. I started talking to my manager, I started talking to everybody, you know, and my team back then, we were like straight. I don't know if you know Keys, like AO and Keys. He's the one that like, he just won a Grammy last year for Cardi B. Yeah. So Keys was my main producer at that time. We had just finished doing another EP together, and I had, you know, my writer who always wrote for me, Marquise, and we had done this like amazing ass EP which never like came out because I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready like within myself to be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna give you another EP that's like not even me, you know? And so I needed to find that, and I came back, and that's when I started going to different people, and that's when I started being more open and going to more things, and you know, being with different musicians, artists, whoever would ever come back to me, you know, and be like, yeah, I want to work with you. So I did that, you know, 2021, that's when I like really started to work on my own stuff, lyrics wise, you know, doing all that kind of stuff. Cause again, I never wrote for myself. So that's when I was like, okay, I'm going to put my head down. I'm just going to start, you know, learning again, you know. And a lot of people were telling me, no, like, do not go away from your team. Do not stop going. Like, you can't stop this. Like, you've got such a good opportunity. But I was like, what's the point? What's the point if I'm just giving 50%? You know, I always saw it as like, you know, we were a car, okay? And I was the engine and everyone was in their positions. But how can you run that car if this engine was giving you 20%? I couldn't. I couldn't let them do that, you know? I couldn't go out like that and be like, yeah, this is my project. It has my name on it, but it was like, I don't feel anything for it, you know? And I wanted to claim it because I'm just that type of person. I wanted to be there and I wanted to do 100%. So, you know, I did that, found myself, you could say. And when everything happened for me, like, I think everything just snapped in line. Everything just aligned for me because last year I came back to my manager. He, God knows why, wanted to still keep working with me. You know, I, you know, explained everything to my past team, and they understand, and they still have love, and I still have a lot of love for them as well. But, you know, I'm just glad that I did that and didn't, like, you know, listen to anyone else and all that kind of stuff, you know, because a lot of people can get inside your head in this industry, you know, but you just need to know what you stand for and have bloody tough skin, you know? So, yeah, that, like, my journey has been a very long one, you know, and a lot of ups and downs as well. So, you know, yeah.
Well, all right. So other than like music and writing, what's your other passions? Do you have any other passions?
Sleeping. Low key, I'm like the best sleeper. I swear to God, I can sleep 3 times.
Is it because you're usually like just busy and
in a day,
flat out on your feet? So it's like when you get time to rest, you rest.
Yes, I feel like honestly, I feel like the ratio between like working and rest is so important.
It is.
Like a lot of people just, they want to, front and be like, oh, I don't sleep. What's sleep? I don't need no sleep. No, you need sleep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because if your health is not on point, then nothing is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I want to try and take care of myself as much as possible. And you see a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah.
So I want to try and do everything that people don't do.
Yeah.
So you said, so what instruments do you play? So it was piano, guitar.
Yeah. So I play piano, guitar. I dabble in anything and everything. Like I did like drums for a while back in high school. Like, I don't know. It's just different things that I can pick up on, like bass and stuff. Like I can just do a little here and there, but yeah.
So did you do that because you felt like it's going to add an element to your music?
Of course. Yeah. Oh my God. I just feel like it's very, very important to have some sort of instrument if you want to be an artist, because it will just help you,
You understand the musicality.
Definitely. Oh my God.
There's a science to it.
Yeah. Oh my God, of course.
No, not me. Hold on. I played guitar and keys.
Said the science to it.
That's not what I was
You really said that.
You guys are haters today.
Me, your damn mic, bro. I'm tired of you.
It's the fact that, like, a lot of artists don't realize there's a science to music. Like,
There's
the
levels
notes
to
and
it,
stuff are there for a reason.
Oh
like,
my God, of
I
course.
forgot what podcast I was listening to, but they were talking about how, like, on one of Kanye's albums, there's a particular note. It's on my Dark Twisted Fantasy. On the note that he ends one song on and then starts another song with, it's called like a Diablo switch or something. That was like forbidden. It's like, who knows these things? Like, artists need to like learn.
Yes.
Like, that there's these levels to this.
Why wouldn't you, if that gives you the freedom to do whatever you want to do, because a lot of people, again, they just think about, I can just do everything on the laptop and it will be fine. Like, but no, you're
Fruity
limiting
Loops.
yourself. Yeah. Oh my God.
That's one thing that I noticed. Like, so many of these, especially like rap producers, especially the trap ones, they play keys well.
Oh, of course.
Like Zaytoven still
yeah,
plays
yeah.
at his
Oh,
church.
yes. Yeah.
Oh, still
Right?
plays.
Yes.
He still plays
Yes.
the organ at his church.
Yeah.
Why
yeah.
y'all laughing, bro?
No. But when you guys all laughing, I'm just like, oh snap, must be nice.
Right? Like, or Hit Boy, all these guys, like, they're mad
No, that's
Yeah.
sick though.
good with
Of
instruments.
course. Keys.
Yeah.
Plays the keys.
It's really not just Fruity Loops and
Oh,
you know.
yeah.
I was
Of
watching
course.
I was watching Rhythm and Flow. And then like the last thing they have to do is like perform like their own song.
Yeah.
And all of them did their thing. And then one person played the piano when it's performing live and
Yeah.
changed the whole thing. And
Yeah.
I was like, yo, playing an instrument changes everything.
Yeah, I mean, of course. Again, like the whole, like the root of what we're doing, it comes from music. Like, why not try to understand it? And that's why I feel like, the way that our music, the way that the music industry is going, or the way that we're doing music is, there were for a period of time we're just like, what the hell are we making? Why are we making shit like this? Because I just guess that people don't really want to look into that as much as they did before. And this is why I always go back to like the classics, because you can find a lot of things in what they do.
yeah.
And you can do that. And then if you do it now, people will be like, oh my God, wow, that's amazing. Like, I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know that you could bring musicality back. And duh, why are you doing this for? Like, we're not just, we've had our time of doing like mumble music and da-da-da-da and all that kind of stuff. And honestly, I'm not even gonna like say shit about that, because
I love the mumbles.
honestly, there is, the most basic melodic lines are the best lines, and some people have, gotten this down to an equation where it's just like, but you need to be this and this and this in order to get this.
Yeah.
And no, sometimes you just need to mumble. Sometimes you need to do that shit, so it's cool. Like, give it that, but I don't want it to go that way for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, I think it's when it becomes like disingenuous. Like, how Kid Cudi hums all the time.
Oh yeah. Oh
right?
my God. Yeah.
But then if someone else comes out and just starts humming all the time, it's like, we know where you got this from. It's kind of lame,
Exactly.
right? It's same thing with Chief Keef was mumbling,
Yeah.
and now it's like, all right, that's enough, guys. Like,
Yeah.
everyone's not saying their words fully.
yeah.
like,
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. The beat sometimes hot. So I'm like, this
I mean,
alright.
of course. I mean, yeah.
I don't know, man.
You need something to say.
Yeah,
with
if
the
we're
beat.
all just liking the beat, then just, like, get rid of the artist.
Bro,
That's all you think.
trust. It sounds good. So, who is one artist you would love to work
I was
with?
gonna ask the same one. Damn it, man. Who would you like to write for, and who would you like to feature with or feature on? Or,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Question at a time, yeah?
saying?
So you keep up, okay?
I would definitely. Okay, I'm not just saying this just because.
Can we guess?
Yeah.
Chris Brown?
Black.
Nah.
Nah.
I was thinking someone more local.
Oh.
Nah, it's definitely not local. She
Shut
doesn't
up,
like
bro.
it.
She's ambitious.
Sorry.
No one you don't like us. Oh, that's crazy.
No, I have no. I have
Beyonce.
No.
Okay, now we
Well, okay, no.
It's so weird, but yeah.
Okay.
No, it's not weird. It's not weird.
Adele.
It just seems really generic, but like I have a backstory.
Don't tell me Justin Bieber.
Katy Perry.
Oh, I would like to, but no.
I've lost it. I don't know. I can't
Okay,
think
tell
of
us. We'll give you all day.
Okay, so the person I would want to.
Mary J. Blige.
it. Shut up.
I thought we gave up.
Oh wait, if we were doing Dead or Alive, like okay, so
Oh, now that makes it
I
hard.
have two. Wait, I have two. Okay, so
Okay, let's go.
Dead, it would definitely be like Luther Vandross, like
Oh,
to feature
yes.
with.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that would have been a dream. But Alive, honestly, I'd pick Drake.
I was just gonna say that.
This is the perfect time for our question we like to ask then, actually.
What was your question? Oh, okay. Imagine they're both alive, right?
Right.
And you're in an ocean, right? And you're in the boat, and they're both sinking, right? And they're next to each other, but you can only pull up one person. Who are you saving?
Luther.
Fair enough.
Yeah, nah. Yeah.
Sorry.
Do you love
I'm
me?
so sorry.
No,
So you're a Drake fan.
Oh my god.
Alright, let's get it.
Oh my god.
Favorite song from Drake?
Let me tell you, okay. I was that girl in like primary school who would be like pasting his name on my
damn.
wall.
Wait, Drake's been
like
around that
and
long?
all of
Drake's
the
been around for time.
titles. No, but I'm young. Yeah, like Find Your Love was the first song that I ever heard from
Same.
that boy.
Yeah, me too.
And it was the best song ever. But like it was like grade 6. So I don't know. What was I, like 10, 11? I don't know. But I was that person that I'm still very obsessed with him, but I dreamt about him every single day of my life. Like I was that kind of person. Okay, so
Your Aubrey was sorry.
goddamn. Nah, like he's just been like a total like top for me.
OVO
Like,
sweatshop?
oh yes. Like honestly, I would like. You do not understand. Like he would definitely be like my top. But yeah. And then a person that I'd write for. I don't know.
You know who I reckon would go off with your lyrics? Janae.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Janae.
A lot
You
of
can't
people-
just say that because they look like
No, her music. No, her music and Janae's
The
music.
vibes,
Because,
yeah,
bro, I used to vibe with her music like crazy, yeah? So then when I was listening to it, I even told this guy, I was like,
Yeah.
bro, this reminds me of Janae, bro.
I feel like she's a lot more calmer in a sense, not of lyricism, but of like the delivery.
Yeah.
I'm a lot more aggressive.
I used to really enjoy her. I found her boring now, man. It's always
Yeah.
the same
Yeah, nah,
stuff.
she's a killer back there. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
She can't agree with that.
I mean,
in the future.
I'm not saying anything. I didn't say
Well, now
anything.
we can't get Janae on the podcast.
So we take that back. She's still amazing.
Definitely. I just feel like, yeah.
I see black.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't really listen to him that much.
Damn.
I mean,
Not in any way. I'm just saying you need it in your life. Trust.
okay. Yeah. No, I definitely will. I don't know enough.
Because he's that
about
like
him.
dynamic. He's a rapper, but a crooner. He's on the new Selena Gomez album.
Really?
Like he's
So,
that vibe.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So I was just gonna ask. So in terms of like deliveries, you just mentioned that just before. How important is appearance, name, and all that type of stuff? Because I know there's people like 21 Savage. Like I just never get where that name came from.
21.
YBN, like all of those people. Like
He started rapping when he was 21.
yeah, but like why have that as a name? Like, I just don't get it. Is it so that it catches people's attention, or like so? How
yeah.
important is all of that?
It's very,
artist.
I feel like it's very important. I think a lot of things have to be calculated in that aspect of being, this is something that you're going to have to live with the rest of your career life. I think if you want this to be an actual career. I've had a lot of people try and, tell me like to change my name. And nah, I just can't. I don't know why. I just feel like it's the whole dominance of like, you know, no, I'm not going to change who I am. I'm not going to, you know, there's so many times where people wanted to change my appearance as well. Oh, you have to look more American. You have to look more Australian. You have to look more not Asian. Like, you know, like it's just stuff like that. But I feel like, if again, it's all about knowing yourself. Like a lot of this process has to come from who you are, because that's the only way you're going to find something that's actually genuine to sell, because we're a brand, obviously. But, you know, if you want to be 21 Savage and you want to be called that just because, then own it, you know. But it has to be something that you're 100% confident about, not, oh, I'm going to be like, you know, I'm going to be called Lollipop because someone else told me to, you know, like, nah, it's not going to last. It's not, if you're looking for longevity, everything has to come from the person.
I'm always really like amazed by those people that take a word that is regular and it becomes like Future.
I was just about
the game.
Thinking about Future's name.
The game.
Like, bro, and now it's like I don't hear anything else when I hear that. 50 Cent. I mean, that one's a bit, but you know,
bro, you know what's
it's
crazy? Like, we know all these names, but we don't know the actual name.
What do you mean? Future's Nevadius Wilburn. What kind of name
Yeah, but
is
damn,
that?
see, I didn't know
What
that.
kind of name is that?
Like, I only found out 50 Cent's real name like 2 years ago. Like,
Damn, Carlos.
Bro,
no.
Bro, he had an album called Curtis. What's wrong with you?
I didn't know that was his name.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
No,
When
for
it
sure.
comes to writing, do you actually write on a paper or do you write on your phone or do you...
Honestly, it depends on my mood. I do a lot of things on computer, like notes and stuff like that. But it definitely, like, I love to still do the pen and paper. Like, pen and paper solidifies all of my ideas down. So even if I've started on computer, like, or laptop, sorry, computer's like very, I feel like computer,
One of those
that
box
word is very
ones?
like ancient. Sorry, my laptop. Then I, you know, will finish it by like writing, you know, and I do all of my planning on writing. I make sure that everything is just, it just makes you feel a lot of like, this is what you have
Like
to
it's
do.
coming out of you. Yeah.
Of course. So, but it's totally up to what I'm feeling at the moment, as well as like even recording and stuff. Like I know a lot of people have their rituals, like things that they need to have, like, you know, fucking candles or like set the vibe, whatever. But honestly, for me, the way that I've grown up and what I've been taught by different people in the industry, like I have to, you know, learn how to do anything and everything on the spot wherever I am. So I don't have any sort of like, you know, thing that I need to have there. You know, if I'm like in the studio or something like that, I'm so easy. Yeah.
Now that you are making your own music, well, I guess before you were doing releasing your own stuff, was there stuff that you'd write and you're like, this is so good, I don't want to give it to someone else?
Yeah, I mean, of course, all the time. I feel like I would just hope that like they wouldn't take it. You know, and like it was I've done, I don't know, you definitely have one of those moments where you try and keep it, but you know, if it's gonna work on somebody and you know, someone that's like big or whatever, then why not?
That's a look for you as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Happens,
It's definitely like a look for you, and I don't know, but I definitely sometimes I'd be like, oh, I want it.
Be like, would you like what, sabotage or something?
I'd be like, you won't like this one. You won't like this one.
Bit of Aussie slang and then that's disgusting.
They'll be like, what is that? No.
What's your favorite song that you've written?
My favorite song, released or unreleased?
Exclusive? Nah.
World premiere?
Released.
Released.
Is your favorite one that's actually not been released yet?
I mean, for right now, probably
Okay,
Yeah.
some good stuff in the works.
All
Then.
right.
So released. Then.
Yeah.
Keen.
So released, I definitely would say. I mean, honestly, the two songs that I've only like written so far is "Write About You" and "Give It to
thank
Me,"
That's amazing.
and you know that I actually call like my own.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I definitely feel like "Write About You" has definitely got to be like my favorite because
that one.
that just
It's
like
such a vibe, that song.
it's just
man.
oh my god when I heard the beat like
Who produced that?
Aldwin from RMR Productions. So he does he does a lot of Rini stuff as well.
Okay.
We're all kind of like a mini team.
Yeah.
We all went up to LA together last year, so that was pretty dope. But yeah, he was doing the beat, you know. I think we were working on another song, and I was like, no, this is not working. Like, can we just try and like fix the beat up again? I'm a very like particular person. I'm very anal, and it's very annoying because I would like do songs 500 times over. And God, but he was doing the beat, and I was like, wait,
what is that?
Okay, wait, because I was gonna originally use it for another set of like lyrics that I had, but I was like, okay, wait, no, I'm like catching a vibe, and I think Joy was actually there in my session as well.
Shout out to Joy.
Again, she was actually, I think she was like sleeping, I think, during my session.
She didn't witness greatness.
Yeah, she definitely dozed off. She was like there at the start. She slept. And I think like I honestly wrote this in like 20 minutes tops because I was like, oh my God, like this is so good. I don't usually do stuff like that. I feel like everything is a lot of like calculation for me of like, it's going to be good. It's da-da-da-da. But that just like, it poured out.
That's
of me.
pretty dope then.
Yeah, like just melody and all. I was like, okay, I'm gonna write this down. Let me just quickly record it, you know. So yeah, that's definitely got to be one of my favorites that I've written so far. Yeah.
That's pretty crazy, actually. I just realized, like, yeah, it's not even sometimes the beat that has the melody of the song. It's actually the artist.
Yeah.
The way you're actually delivering it.
That's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Why do you think people like hum as well? You know, like Kid Cudi, because that's how you. It depends on your process, but like if you want to have the beat and then hum over it, or like just do like like da 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 da.
One of them ones.
And you can do it, you know, and then.
Tanya, please.
Daddy, I said mute your damn mic. Bro. I'm tired of this guy.
Yeah, you could definitely do that.
So, what's the longest you spent on writing like a song?
Oh my God, on and off, like probably like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It probably be a fucking
That's not that bad.
month.
So like you write, you go, you write, you go.
Yeah. I never like force my writing.
Yeah.
So as soon as I get a block, I leave it. I'm just like, okay, on to the next, or I just completely stop doing music because I'm just like, okay, I need to just have a break. My head's overflowing with things. I just need to not. Yeah. So like definitely it's been like a month on and off. Yeah. It's weird.
Pretty. Doesn't seem like that long.
Yeah,
I thought it.
But
like,
honestly,
it'd
it
be
is
longer.
like if you want to have like a deadline. Oh my God,
yeah.
it's like the worst. Because when people expect something from you, they're just like, oh, you're gonna do it. But
So now it's like you got to push everything back.
yeah, I'm just like, well, leave me alone. You know? Like it's quality, okay, over quantity, assholes.
So that's the thing when you feature on people's songs. Did they give you like a deadline? It's like, yeah, I need it done by like 2 or 3 weeks. Or it's like, oh, whenever you're ready, just bring it to me and then let's work.
Yeah.
Is it more like
But
that?
I usually, man, honestly, if I like really like the beat and like where they're going
It's
with
not that
it,
hard.
Then boom.
I'll have that sent over like the day afterwards. Because if I'm really inspired, then I'll do it straight away. I don't care where I am.
Do you like that? Do you like that, like making music together and not in the same room physically?
Yeah, I feel like sometimes I need to have my like alone time. I'm mostly alone like all the time. That's why I'm a grandma. Get it?
I got it now.
But I feel like for me it's cool like writing in front of people and stuff or collaborating and stuff, but I always need to have that time alone where I'm just like, okay, does this make sense to me? Because I'm always trying to figure out what I am saying myself and what my intentions are so that it's a clear hit to my audience. Yeah.
So, what advice would you give people who are starting? Like, let's just say I'm trying to sing right now. Wow.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Please don't. Please don't.
Damn it, come on, guys. But let's just say I'm trying to sing. So,
Yeah.
where do I start? Who do I go to?
I definitely
What's up?
feel like research is the number one thing that you need to start doing.
Yeah.
If you're stuck and you don't have any resources that you can go to, people that you can go to, I definitely feel like it all relates back to the simple things. And this is what I tell everyone that wants to talk about music with me, is that never lose sight of the simple things. You have to be a human first. You have to go back into the human things, simple things that make you a human. So, again, it's knowing who you are. It's simply doing what I like, what I don't like. What are the things that I'm willing to do? What are the things that I'm not willing to do? Then after that, you would go into creativity, like who are my inspirations? Who do I like? Why do I like them? Break it down. Why do I like their lyrics? Why do I like this beat? You know, ask yourself all these necessary questions. So you literally have to start talking to yourself. Be crazy. You look crazy, but you know, it's very necessary because again, it's a part of your process. So then after that, once you've done the research and you know what you want to do and make networks. You have to source out your people. You have to look around. You have to start going to different venues, different things that you feel like will help you get connected with other people. If you know that, you know, one person's going to be here and you've low-key stalked them, do it, you know, and make that connection. And you know what? The one thing that's going to get you into every single place, be nice. That's it. Be nice to people, be genuine, don't be fake, don't just, you know, have the intention that, you know, one day I'm just going to use you, because it's going to go tenfold back onto you. Karma's very much an ass in this industry. So you have to make sure that like everything that you do from your heart and you do something. And honestly, like a lot of people say that, but I'm really, really saying that. Like from everything that I've gone through and seen, just be nice, man, because I wouldn't have gone through anything that like any doors that I've opened for myself if I wasn't nice, honestly. Like you just care about being nice. It's honestly first impressions. Like why wouldn't you, you know? And I've had a lot of people that weren't nice to me, you know, and they've never seen my face ever again. And they've never worked with me ever again.
Don't blame you.
Because what's the point? You're not going to go recommend that person. Are you kidding me? Oh yeah, I met that person. She was mean. He was an ass. He was this. He was
so
that.
So go work with them.
Yeah,
It doesn't make sense.
Exactly. So yeah.
So in terms of like networking and connecting, where do I go with that? Like, how do I connect with other artists? Like, do I just shoot my shot in the DMs, be like, hey,
man, yes. Oh my god. Okay, so I was having a conversation.
That's what we did to get her on the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you guys did. Exactly.
It was good.
Yeah. So I remember when me and oh my god.
What are you saying, bro?
Grow up, Carlos, bro.
That's all right. But no, I remember when I was in LA the last time, me and Rini and Aldwin, we were having a meeting with Sabrina Claudio's manager at our house. And he was just saying, you know, there was a lot of people that were missed opportunities because, you know, they would be in the DMs, but I'd never see it, you know, like I never would care, you know, and then now they're blowing up, you know. So from him being a manager and he's like managing other people as well, you know, he said to us, you know, like always look at your DMs, always make sure that you're looking at, you know, things that are happening because you never know what's going to happen to those people, you know. So it's the same thing, like don't be afraid to shoot your shot and be like, hey, I'm just going to be in the DMs and I'm just gonna be like, hey, I'm a new artist, do you mind working with me, you know? And it's a lot of the pride that comes in the way, but you have nothing to lose when you start out. That's all I'm gonna say. You have nothing to lose because you need to have contacts, you need to make these connections, and whether they're being an ass or not, that's not you, that's them.
That's on them.
Exactly. And if you really have the guts to do this, then you will keep going. You wouldn't stop just because one person just scene zoned you. Like, who cares? Keep going. They don't know. Yeah.
I know a lot of the time with like creative ventures and passion and stuff, like parents, anything that's not academic in a sense, a lot of the time parents
God.
Especially when you're ethnic.
Yes, especially when you're ethnic.
Yes.
They have that mentality of like, or not even mentality, but it's usually when there's like a result, then it's like, oh, okay, I can get behind supporting this. Did you have any experience of that with your?
Oh my God, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah. Like me, even like Rini and stuff like that. But you know, for me especially, my mom was like, no. She was like, you know, and I was really doing the logic behind it because it didn't make sense to me. She was the one that pushed me to do like singing lessons when I was younger and pushed me to do all these competitions. And for what? Just so I wouldn't do it, like as a career. I was like,
you did this, mom.
I know. I
This
was
is
like,
your
so
fault.
exactly. And I kept having conversations. I was like, look, you know, if you wanted me to be a nurse or a doctor, then you would have given me a book about being a nurse or a doctor, okay? And that would have made sense to me, but it didn't, you know. Right. So I was like, look, you can either get behind me or not, because I'm still gonna do this. And I get it that you're my mom, and you know my parents are here to keep me safe, and they want to be in the safe zone. And you know they didn't come here to just see me not go to uni. You know. But I have 2 other sisters, and they went to uni, you know. So that was my
enough.
excuse,
Pretty
bro.
good.
That was literally my excuse. I was like, look, you have 2 daughters. They've finished uni. Just leave me alone.
Are you the youngest?
Yep.
Yep.
Yes, I am.
Ah, that's fine. You get away with it.
Yeah.
See, the oldest would never.
Exactly. But you know,
100%,
but
bro.
she loves doing all that. She's a pharmacist now, so you know exactly. That's why she doesn't care anymore. She's like, okay, cool. I've got a pharmacist, future
One
psychologist.
person can take care of me.
Exactly. I'm just like one out of the 2, like over there. But like, you know, I definitely have gone through the hardships of being like, nah, I really, please, like, understand where I'm coming from.
Have they come around now? Like,
Yeah.
a lot of support now.
Yeah.
behind it.
Of course, a lot of support, a lot of, you know, love. Sometimes it's still difficult because, you know, of the whole going away, coming back thing. It's really hard, and especially because I don't have that working visa yet. I'm about to, but not yet. I got detained last time, so it was
Whoa.
like, hey, yeah, I know, like for
Really?
6 hours, yo. Oh,
Wait, Australians get detained?
hell yeah. What do you mean? Trump's in office. Well, he was in office. I don't know if he's been impeached yet.
I don't know
No,
what
he's
that
still
means
there.
fully.
It's okay.
Got detained.
Definitely got detained. It was the most like traumatic experience of my life. Honestly, like it was the worst thing.
Yo, embassy.
Do you want to know what happened?
Hey, let's listen to
Okay.
this.
Yeah, let's hear this.
So he just looked, and like my dates were 2 days over the visa period. So the visa period, 3 months.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
they were 2 days over. They're
Yeah.
very, very, you know, anal about that stuff.
okay.
Yeah.
And they were like, do you want to stay the full, you know, 3-month period? And I was like, yeah, I guess. I only stayed a month, by the way. So that was a total, like, this could have been totally missed, but didn't. Anyways, it took me to another room. There was like about like 50 people in this small, cramped room. And when my time was like up to go up to the offices, and this was like 4 hours I was waiting. Off a 14-hour flight, mind you.
Yeah.
And I was like dead. Like my body died, yeah. And so they were like, you know, what's going on? You know, I see that your dates are this and this. Just change it for me, and it'll be fine. I was like, okay, sweet, I'll change it. I was trying to change my flights, and then some other lady came through and was like, wait, actually, you know what? Sit
far
down.
out,
And I was
man.
like,
Always that other lady.
I was like, oh.
It's on Karen.
Yeah.
Comes out of nowhere.
That,
A
she
bitch has short
definitely
hair, bro.
was.
She has short
Yeah,
hair.
short hair.
I still have her face in my head. She was that like, oh, it was that
Sorry to
traumatic.
all the Karens, by the way.
No, but she basically thought I was just getting sex trafficked, man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because there was a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
By yourself? Like you were alone, right?
Yeah, so I was like, huh? I was like, okay, cool. But she, yeah,
I mean, fair enough. That's kind of nice of her to.
yeah,
But for 6
Actually,
hours?
yeah, wait, okay. Now I'm
yeah,
thinking,
but she was like, okay, like tell me what's really going on, because I didn't tell her I was going there for music, because I didn't want her to think that I was working. I wasn't
Yeah,
working. I wasn't working for money. I wasn't
right,
getting
right.
paid there.
True.
So, anyways, I finally told her, and she was like, look, it's okay that you can do music. You just can't get paid under the table. Can't do any concerts. And I was like, okay, cool. So then
Yeah.
she let me go, and I was like, really?
Like all of that for
For
this?
6 hours?
Yeah, that's
damn.
dragged.
I didn't even want to talk about it. It was that bad. Like my whole team, because we were all supposed to meet like at LAX all together at the same time.
They're like, we're hungry. Where are you?
yeah.
Detained.
My
locked up.
my team was so nice. They waited for me for the whole 6
Wow.
hours.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Yo, these guys would have left me.
Bro, half an hour. Oh, yeah, bro.
They knew something was wrong
Yeah.
though, because
Yeah.
you're not allowed to use your phone when you get detained.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're really big on like cameras and stuff, and because they're rude. Like they're rude. there.
God forbid they get filmed being
Yeah,
rude to people.
Yeah, honestly.
They're not supposed to be doing that. But yeah, they were just like, they kept calling me, and I could feel the buzz and stuff. And I'm
man.
like, damn it, I know that they're like worried.
Yeah.
But yeah, as soon as I came out, they were like, oh my God, like what's going on? Like what happened? And I was like, dude, I don't even want to talk about it. Let's just get out of LAX, please. I don't want to. Yeah. So I don't like LA. It's given me a lot of troubles, but it's whatever. Yeah.
I'm trying to go to LA. though.
No, I'm just gonna
Nah, damn.
go as a tourist. Don't go for work, please. It's like
What's
really
it to do
annoying.
for work, anyways?
Man,
Everything.
Music.
you could
Clearly.
be doing this.
Guys, I don't know how to sing. Come on, man.
You
Like,
could be podcasting
Yeah,
up
do
there, man.
podcasting in
Yeah,
LA or
that's it.
something.
I'm out to take that
Speak it.
broadcasting.
Yeah,
Manifest that, man.
No, we're not manifesting him taking this. We want this here.
My bad.
How's your experience with concerts and stuff like that? So you've done concerts. Sorry, so you've done a concert with Rini, yeah?
yeah.
So when he was doing his tour, I think.
Yes,
actually,
yeah.
Have you done any other concerts as well? A couple of.
So I've done, kind of here, but over there in America, I've done a few like shows and stuff like that. Not really like my own, but I was the first show that I ever did was ATL Live in the Park. So it's so
that is sick.
Yeah, huge. Yeah, it was very random. It was very weird. But yeah, so that was my first show.
You
that
come out
I
as
did
Janae
there.
Aiko, and they're like, all right.
Sick. Wish. But yeah, no, it was really cool. It was really dope considering that, you know, the whole history behind ATL Live on the Park and who was on there, like Adele and stuff like that started on there as well. And getting, you know, acquainted with everyone there, you know, actors and all that kind of stuff. So that was pretty dope. And my next one was a show that Brian Michael Cox actually put on as well. And it was just really dope, like shows and stuff like that, but I haven't really gone on like one of my own yet, just because again, like I'm just putting out music that I actually validate, you know. So but honestly, when I get my EP released, which I am this year, hopefully I'll be doing like a lot of concerts. Like I don't know if I want to do stuff around. Probably I'll do I'll do a tour around like Australian stuff.
We'll be there.
Yeah, we're ready for that.
We'll be there.
Especially in Melbourne, yes.
Yeah.
But we'll work on the other states. But I just feel like, I don't know. I'm not really known in Australia, and I'm okay with that. It's okay, but because my number one city is LA, so America's definitely been like that type of audience for me.
Yes.
And that's why we're focusing so much over there. But I'm not neglecting Melbourne. Melbourne's always going to be my city.
We'll be there singing right about you.
Oh my God, of course.
I heard everyone from your high school pulling up too. We know her. My best friends.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So what's what works?
So why do all Filipinos sing?
Wait, what you say?
Wait, you guys haven't? You don't know
So-
this?
Wait, what you say?
Why do all Filipinos sing?
Man, I have no idea. Why do they sing?
I don't know.
They
Why?
got a good voice there.
It's incredible.
I
They
have
all
no
sing.
idea. I have no freaking clue.
And then like they were always the ones posting the covers on YouTube.
Yeah, what? Damn, I don't know. I don't know. They're really good dancers, and you know.
B-boy dances and all
True.
that.
But honestly, like half of the
Jabberwockies.
time, it's like they're like it's just the side thing.
Yeah.
It's their full-time nurse first.
Yeah,
I was
Nurse
gonna
doctor. I have no idea. I feel like we're just very
Isn't it
cultured
weird?
like that.
It's like very creative people, but it's untapped almost
Yeah.
because of that ethnic expectation.
Yes, very much. I feel like
Imagine what could be.
yeah. I mean, cultures for us is very like do your thing first, do your schooling, and then you can do anything that you want to do. Like my mum was just so set on, please just get a certificate, get anything. You can do it hairdressing, you can do nails, just do something.
I just want to see that paper.
And I was like, no, I just want to. Literally, it's just like I just want to see the paper on the
for
wall,
real, for
please. I
real.
just need something from you.
No,
Just
like,
need something from you. You know, that's how many times she's been saying that shit. But you know, and I get it. Honestly, I get where she's coming from. I get it. You know, they want to have the life that they didn't, and all that kind of stuff. But seriously, what the conversation today with me and my mom is like, you came to Australia so I could have a choice. So don't let me fail you. Like don't have doubts in me because
hey, throw a bomb for that.
That's a good
Hey,
one.
bomb, bro. Yeah, hey, I never heard that before.
yeah, no, for sure.
That's a good one.
Like, you know, I don't want you to doubt me because my mom is a strong, independent, like woman. Even though, she's still together with my dad. Like, we're all a family still, so she ain't independent. But she's a strong woman. That woman, she went through, you know, cancer twice. You know,
wow.
she's been through a lot of things, and she's a specialist nurse, so she
That's cool.
fulfilled that you know. But you know, she raised me to be this way. So I'm like, you know, if you trust that I'm going to be you and I'm going to be as aggressive as I want to be in my career, then you shouldn't worry.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry about it. Like, I know it's a slow process, but anything that's good is slow. So
That's facts.
yeah.
So your mom had cancer twice.
Yeah.
Wow. And so with that, do you ever write about that in your music?
I mean, I want to try to. Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like a lot of my emotions that I write about, it's not necessarily about that, but it's the emotions that I've kept that help me. It helped me write. You know, it's a supply of emotions that just help me be there, you know, and write whatever I need to write. If it's like a sad song, if it's a song that's like heartfelt, then definitely those emotions will come from there. Definitely from that place, you know, growing up and seeing all of that stuff. So, yeah.
What is in the works then? So your EP right now, is that your main?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Finally.
Do you know what it's called?
Yes.
Do
but
we know what it's called?
I can't put that out. Can't put that out
fair
yet. But I do have a single coming out soon. So Feb 1.
Soon?
Oh, wow.
Soon.
Yeah,
I'll let
Feb
y'all
what?
listen to it after this is done.
Say no more!
Explicit
don't.
stuff.
Yeah.
I'm very, very excited about this one. It's definitely like more of an up-tempo vibe.
Sweet.
So it's definitely like different because I usually do like just mids or like slows and stuff. So but yeah, definitely that single. I have my EP releasing after that. Probably like a few more singles actually before my EP releases. And then hopefully after that we'll be on the road, be on some shows and just keep doing what we're doing. But I have a long list of things that I want to do 2020.
Yeah.
It is time to, you know, to put a lot of things into action for myself. I feel like 2019 was a lot of planning and now it's just execution. Yeah.
I got one last technical-ish question. How do you feel about music nowadays where it's like the attention span is pretty short, right? And you see a lot of albums, especially rap albums, where the tracks are like 2 minutes, 10 seconds, 2 minutes, 40 seconds.
Yeah.
Nothing. Songs used to be like 4:30.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 Right.
And I'm gonna bring it back into that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I feel like, you know, we're more in control of what everyone likes than what people think, you know,
Right.
because we all think, oh, it's up to the industry. It's all up to, you know, what we're doing now. But honestly, we definitely control it. I'm going to make you listen to the 4 minutes and 50 seconds that I've got going on. But you know why? Because it's going to be good material.
Exactly.
That's true. Like when something's actually good,
Yeah.
I'll give it my, like Kanye's last track on the College Dropouts, 11 minutes long, and most of it's just talking, and
Yeah.
it's so good. I will
And it's
listen
so-
to it over and over and over.
Exactly.
Same with J. Cole's song. I think it's Note to
14
Self
minutes.
or something.
He's- I didn't have time to
Yeah.
write
And
the-
he's not. It's not a song. It's not even a song.
It's not. He's like,
But I
"Thank you."
love it.
Yeah.
Like he's just doing that and thanking people. I'm like, but
And it's like, this is dope.
I liked it. Like it's like
Exactly.
that was cool. Like
Exactly.
Is there a fear that artists have or something with that? But you're saying now there's a bit more control there. Yeah.
And it's all about how you see things. It's about your perspective on trying to, you know, please people and trying to just do what you feel like, you know, because if you bring it back, it's all about your intention. I always bring things back into intention. Like it was intended for Kanye and J. Cole to be like 11, 14 minutes long, and you are going to listen to that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it was their intention of doing so, not, oh my God, everything has to be rushed. It has to be something that people like. It has to be within 1 minute, you know, because that's the only attention span that they'll have. No, the only attention span, the only reason why they have that attention span is because nothing is really of that quality anymore. It's all about quality.
It's true.
You know, like over quantity. There's an inflation.
It's because you only need a minute to get the stream.
Exactly. There's so much inflation. There's so much quantity. There's less quality now these days. And if you plan out your stuff, you will have quality no matter what you do. You know.
For sure. So speaking of dating,
That was smooth.
thank you. Are you single or do you have a mister in your life right now?
Come on, no way.
Skip it if you want.
And be the mic too.
Took the mic.
I know you guys wanted to know.
No, I am not single. I'm not single. I've been in a relationship for like 3 years now. Yeah, I mean, I keep everything like low key,
yeah.
private, because it's something that is the only thing that I can keep private.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like a lot of things nowadays have to be shown on social media and stuff. But like, if I can keep that piece to myself,
Yeah.
it's more than enough. Because again, it's about those genuine moments that you have with people, like family and stuff. I'm very big on just having that.
Yeah.
That's for me to keep,
Because no fan will share that with you.
exactly.
Yeah,
like they wouldn't even care anyway. So. Maybe they would, but I don't know. Like, not now.
My dog died. Drop the album.
I know,
Fam,
like,
you've
damn.
done that to Bryson Tiller.
Absolutely.
Oh my god.
Yo,
yeah.
so he's just
I
had
don't
a
want
baby.
Yeah.
No one's saying congrats. Like, yeah, big man, cool. Yeah. When's that album drop?
You know what's sad? When they've just dropped an album like 2 weeks, it's like, where's the
Yes.
new music?
When's
Sorry.
yeah.
Sorry.
That's so annoying.
Bro,
Yeah.
fans are so demanding, bro.
Yeah, so demanding.
Oh.
But you gotta tame them.
Have you
okay?
gotten that?
Yeah, I'm like, what do you mean? I dropped like 2 singles in like
Yeah.
2 years. Of course, like people needed more.
That's kind of fair enough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
damn,
I
like
see that, I see
I
that.
get it, but I have like, it's building loyalty. Okay, it's
Yeah,
again
yeah.
another quality that I wish to possess and always work towards. It's just loyalty. It's the most biggest thing that I have to find about somebody. If I would let them in, into my circle or whatever. Is being loyal. And that's something that I want to give out to my audience, is like, how can I make them loyal to me? What can I keep doing even though I don't have music out at the moment? And I feel like I've built that, throughout my whole time of, being on YouTube and stuff like that. I still have hardcore, like,
Yeah,
loyal,
you still got like 90,000 subscribers or something.
dying fans that
We
are still
need
like, I
those.
don't care. Yeah,
pass
like, that are just like, I don't care if you haven't put out music. Like, yes, we want it, but like, I'm still here. I'm still
Yeah.
listening to your stuff, and I'm still here. And I feel like if I have just one person, and I've always said this to myself, like literally when I started YouTube, I was like, look, if I only have like one person like listening to my stuff and genuinely liking it, then that's all I ever need. And I still keep that true, because I don't really care. Like, I don't care about demands. I don't care about your shit. Like, you're going to take it when I'm ready to do it, and like a lot of the, industry is just like, but we want it now. We need it now. Da, 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 da. Well, that's the whole point of being independent. So you can do whatever you want to do, come out with something that's smart, even though you haven't released in a long time. Like, it doesn't matter. The demand is higher, but yes, a lot of people are going to be listening to it afterwards,
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my
What
take.
song would you tell someone who's never heard of you to listen to?
I would definitely say, Give It To Me, just because it's a more easy listening to song to get into first.
Yeah, fair enough.
And it's definitely a lot more sensual. But yeah, I would definitely say that. Or if it was, well, it depends on the person. But if my audience was more of the mature, then I would definitely say Right About You.
Right.
Like, I don't know how freaky they are, but right About You is definitely like some mid, But yeah, I
Yeah.
definally feel
First one I heard was Persian Rugs.
really
They got cover of that.
the cover. Yeah.
It's very good. It's very,
Thank
very good. I like
you.
it more than the original.
Yeah. Oh.
Whoa. Okay. That's
Party
what's
Next
up.
Door is like a huge other person that I definitely.
I can see those vibes.
He's a great writer.
Yeah. Great writer. Oh
I
my.
don't know if he's a great singer.
He's but writing
His
is
writing's
very,
great.
very good.
Doesn't he just write now? Like, he doesn't sing
He's
anymore?
locked up in Drake's dungeon. You didn't hear
Oh,
about
definitely.
That's
I need him
crazy.
to come out now.
Sorry.
Okay. No, definitely. Yeah, Persian Rugs. It was a huge
Yeah.
one. A lot of dance, like choreography, went into that
Oh,
cover.
that's dope.
I could definitely say a lot of people were just doing like dance
That's sick.
choreography.
When
What's
people
that?
do that,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
pretty sick.
What's the feeling when you see that, like especially with Spotify, like the million streams, right? Because you got a couple tracks that are on a million plus, right? What is that? Do you go like, oh wow, this was a hit? Like for
Honestly,
me,
don't even check my Spotify.
okay.
It's so weird. Yeah, I know. Like, I look at it ever so often. I'm not really that like iffy. I don't know. I don't really care. I don't think I care that much at the moment because it wasn't my music. like it's
Right.
covers.
Yes.
Oh,
So I was like, yeah, let it go to $1 million. I don't care. You
Right.
know, I'm only really looking for like my next releases.
Also,
that are-
like with Write About You and stuff.
yeah,
are you-
exactly. Like I'm just looking at that. I'm looking at, you know, Give It To Me. I'm going to look at, you know, all the statistics from there and see what plans that I can make from that. But
Yeah.
honestly, it is a good way to see what music I should be going, like leaning towards too, like sonically, because people like, you know, Persian rugs
Yes.
or, you know, they like
Yeah.
that sort of music. So I'm like, okay, it's a good indication for me.
Yeah, it's I find it funny a lot of time when like you see a lot of like the huge artists. Nah, I don't check my likes, or nah, I don't check this. But it's like, yeah, it is a statistic. Like you're saying,
definitely
it
is,
helps
yeah.
you. Not that you're gonna now start chasing that only, but it's like it lets you see what direction are people feeling. And
Exactly.
if you're the one that was behind that initially,
Yep.
you're just doing you again. Like there's no
Yeah.
problem with that.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I felt like I've only come to terms with that recently.
Yeah.
Like I was so, I don't know, I was just like, oh, these are covers. Like people don't really care about like me. And they actually do, which is very weird. Because yeah, I do make my covers my own. That's one thing I've always, you know, strived for, is just try and make that me as much as possible. But yeah, I've only come to terms with that, and to use it as something that I can see, you know, where I need to go off from as well, and not see as something negative or, oh, don't worry about that. It's nothing, you know, because clearly it's not nothing if they're like doing those numbers. But yeah, it's not out of like, you know, ego or whatever, of me like not checking my stuff. I just forget sometimes. I'm just like, oh shit.
You're
like,
writing music.
I know,
Like
but
you've
I'm
got
just
other
like,
things
oh.
to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's pretty sick, man. Hey, that's been pretty dope. We don't want to hold you up too long because I'm looking at that time. Sometimes.
It's running.
We do have another question that we like to ask as well. You worded better than
Oh, you worded better.
No, you.
All right, fine. I would have been there.
That was nice. Yeah, that was good.
If you had all the young people in the world in front of you, what piece of advice would you give them?
I would definitely say, if you have a dream or a goal in mind, start putting that into action in the most smallest ways possible. I feel like, you know, we do a lot of planning in our minds, but it only takes, you know, the pen and paper. It only takes the little small conversations to spark an idea, to spark something. And honestly, like a lot of the people that we see, that we watch, that we love, they don't know what they didn't know what they were doing. Like at first, they didn't know if people were going to believe in them, like them, love them. But I definitely feel like, you know, it just starts with you. And if you want to do it, if that's something you're very much set on, then why not? You know, why not just do it? No matter what background you're from, no matter what circumstance you're in, like you have to work with what you have. You know, I started off doing, you know, covers in my bathroom, like literal toilet. Like I was sitting on my toilet and I was just making, and no one ever knew. No one ever knew. They just thought, you know, oh my God, she's making videos. Oh, what do you make your videos out from? Like, you know, like my MacBook, like my camera for my MacBook. Like it wasn't nothing fancy. You know, you don't need to have everything to start, you know, and a lot of people think that has to happen, but it doesn't. So start from what you have, start from little, start from nothing, but you can decide, you have the choice to make that grow. So I feel like the ball is in your court, it's in your hands, you can do it.
That's a bar.
I forgot. We're not going to do the clap as well anymore, eh? I did the bomb and the clap. Yo.
Oh my God.
All right, well, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Honestly, yeah, that's
It's been so good, guys.
hopefully, yeah.
No, it's been so good talking to you guys. You guys are awesome.
Next time Murder Beats is in town, you send him our way.
Oh, for sure.
It was good.
Nah, but for real, thank you. Oh, you got
But
something?
I was just gonna say, yeah, thank you for the like insight on everything, and you know, we really hope that people that are listening, go and check out your music because you're really talented.
Oh,
You're
thank you
honestly
so
truly
much.
Yeah,
talented.
do you want to plug yourself, socials, whatever?
Boom, boom, boom.
We'll also put it
God.
in the description.
Hello. So you can find me on Instagram at Olivia Escuyos because no one can say my last name. YouTube, Olivia Escuyos, ESCUYOS, if people don't know. But you can literally find me anywhere. Spotify is the same thing, Olivia Escuyos. Literally, you can find me. Just search me on Google. I swear to God, you'll find me somewhere. But yes, thank you guys.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for
having me
coming.
here.
Thank
Real
you.
lucky confession. I didn't realize the camera wasn't running for like the first minute of
my
this. So
That's crazy.
the first minute, but we good.
That's
we Gucci.
okay.
We Gucci. You
Yeah.
know, we have a whole hour 40
Yeah.
something that they
Amazing.
have videos. All right.
All right, well,
Let's
thank
go.
you for listening. Thank you for joining us for episode 30. If you are a musician, I hope this one helped,
Yes,
inspired,
sir.
did something for you.
Boom.
And we'll catch you episode 31.
That's the one.
Peace out.
Good morning.
We're not doing it. Morning.
Oh, that was dope.